R&B diva, H.E.R is up next. Let's talk. What's up, everybody out there? How you doing? I want to welcome you back over here to Peppie's Point of View, and I'm your R&B historian, Peppie. All right, and we're talking about R&B diva H.E.R today. Hey, you guys, if you've been watching me for a split second, then you understand that reaching out, expanding, listening to current R&B divas is something that I have had my reservations about doing, and rightfully so. It is what it is. You know, I'm a stickler. I love my R&B divas, A'ngela Winbush, Mickey Howard, Regina Belle, Vesta Williams, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight. You understand where I'm going. So, and I'm used to a certain caliber of singing and singers. But, I also want to expand not only, my audience, but I also want to kind of give the current R&B divas a break and just kind of see what they are about. And I have to tell you, I have not listened to anything current, since 1997. I checked out. Once I saw where the music was going and all of that, I was like, you won't take me down that road. And so I've been comfortable with my music collection. I've been comfortable with the music that I have and have not had a need to, kind of branch out. But you got to give the people what they want. You understand what I'm saying? And so here I am reaching out, and I am covering R&B diva H.E.R. How did I find out about her since I'm not listening to anything current? Well, every now and then I've seen her name pop up. And I was thinking about today, like, who could I cover? And her name just kept coming up to me. And I think it also has a lot to do with that commercial, Nationwide is on your side. So I was like, okay, let me just check her out and see, what she's about. And so I just finished listening to her 2017 album. I know. I looked her up, and she has had more than one album out since 2017. I understand that. But hey, this is my take on her, experiencing her for the first time. And you guys should know by now how I do it. I kind of, give you my thoughts about the album, about her, kind of compare her to different artists from, I guess, back in the 80s, as well as, kind of get a look feel for her currently. So I have to let any R&B diva out there right now who's current, because I'm listening to her first. And I'm here to tell you, just because I'm listening to her first, she is going to be the litmus test, all right? So any R&B diva that I listen to right now, because her is first, I'm going to say, okay, how can I compare and contrast her to what I've heard currently right now? Okay. I didn't choose this diva just, for any other reasons other than I'm just trying to find a current R&B diva. Okay. So we understand each other out there. Okay. Whew. So what do we know about her? Well, from bios out there, from what I'm gathering, H.E.R, first of all, I want to know how she got her name. Why H.E.R? And then if we have an R&B diva H.E.R, then I guess we need to come up with a soul man called him. I know it wasn't funny, but where's him? We need to find a him now. We got a H.E.R, find a him, before somebody else find a him. You understand what I'm saying? Find your protege, find a male protege and call him him. And then you guys can have an album I'll call H.E.R and Him. I know, a little cheesy, I understand. So what do we know about her? Well, She is from California. She's from the Bay Area, right? Shout out to the Bay Area. I've been out there, hey, I like the Bay Area. So she's from the Bay Area, and her background is Filipino as well as African American. Okay. Interesting. All right. She has also, pretty much hit the ground running since she was probably around the age of what? 12, maybe 14. She pretty much has been doing this for quite some time. It looks as if she has appeared on shows like the Today Show, the Apollo, singing. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Singing R&B diva songs such as Aretha Franklin, as well as Alicia Keys. So she has some good roots then, all right? She has some good roots if she's singing those R&B divas. So that's already a plus for me, knowing that, y'all know it's kind of difficult out there with these current R&B divas, paying homage, paying tribute, to previous R&B divas. So this lets me know if she's singing songs by Aretha Franklin, then this lady, her, definitely understands, what she's doing, Okay, so that's good to know. I wanna think something. We're gonna continue to talk about it. And then after that, she continued to appear on shows such as Nickelodeon's television show that was called Schoolgirls. Then she continued the talk show circuit, appearing on shows such as Maury, Good Morning America, The View. And then she made her way over to RCA Records, and she was signed at the age of 14 on the J Records label, but I don't know if anything came to fruition with that album. And then, of course, she ended up, looks as if she rebranded herself, H.E.R, and now we have the H.E.R that we have today. All right. I'm not going into other things about her because what I'm doing is I am discovering her album by album. That's what I'm doing. So all the other things that she has done, I have purposely left it out, okay? Because she's new to me, so I want to discover her kind of organically, if you understand what I'm saying. Whew. So let's get right into the album, the self-titled album, 2017 H.E.R. When I listened to the first song, called Losing, let me tell you, just listening to it, the lyrics, I was like, whoever wrote this song, really, shout out to you, okay? Because I really got from just the songwriting that, you can get songwriters who are a little lazy. Raphael Sadiq says that a lot about himself, Soul Man. Raphael Sadiq of Tony, he says he can get a little lazy, with his writing, but I'm not saying that, his lyrics are not good, see. But for me, listening to this song, Losing, I was like, you know what? These songwriters are just great. Like I like the lyrical content. So it looks as if H.E.R, she also is a songwriter and she's a producer. Now, since I know that about her, that means she's on another tier. You know how I do it over here. I put you on that tier, above the rest. When you come in as an R&B diva and you already write and you produce, that means you're up there. So now I can put her up there with my Bernadette Coopers and my A'ngela Winbushes and my Tina Maries. I can do that. You understand what I'm saying? She's up there. So she's already in the club, just about, right? I mean, yes, I could put her up there, so I'm feeling good so far. So now after I discovered that and see that she also writes and she produced. I don't know, was the credits given to her, were they earned? I'm not quite sure, just what it is. Sometimes contracts are contracts, So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting a real good feel for, what she's about. And then as I'm listening to the song, you guys, and you know how I do over here if you watch me for some time, I'm listening, but now I'm listening to any kind of familiar sound, style, or whatever it is that I can compare, to a previous or current R&B diva. Since I don't have anyone current that I can compare her to right now, because I haven't listened to all the R&B divas, out as in like the past 3 years, the first R&B diva that comes to my mind listening to her, and I'm sure she has been, told this, Alicia Keys. That's right. I was like, I'm getting a little bit of Alicia Keys out of her. But there's also another R&B diva I don't know if she's been compared to or not, Aaliyah. So I'm listening to it. I'm like, okay, this is Alicia Keys type vibe that's going on over here with her. Now, I understand that we have people who are creative. I understand. I'm a creative person myself, so I understand that. And sometimes, you're dealing with real life people, and sometimes people don't, they take critiques and they go like, who you think you are? Hey, I'm just telling you what I think. You don't have to change anything. It's your show. You understand what I'm saying? But when I hear her, the thing that kind of turned me off after great lyrical content, after listening to her, and she sounds great. Then after discovering that she is a songwriter and a producer, like all of these wonderful things and the things that kind of fall short, the one thing that makes me not want to listen to today's music, the production. The song makes me want to fall asleep. It's just what it is. Like, I'm just like, I don't know what it is, with current music. And it's just not, her music. It's like music in general. Like, that's why I stay away from it. I'm like, I don't get it. It just tires me out, if you will. And that's what I'm getting out of all that goodness. It's just the production. So now I do feel great, though. I feel great that she's a singer, she's a songwriter, she's a producer. I'm going to assume she is a musician as well. So all of these things work. So the only thing I have to do is just sit back and see if I can make it through the album from a production standpoint. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not that the production is bad. That's not what I'm saying. But it's different from what I've listened to in the, let's just say from the 80s all the way up to 1997. You guys know what I'm talking about, And I'm not necessarily saying auto-tunes. I'm just saying, like, I don't know the frequency y'all have going on with this music. But anyway, moving right along. So I hear that song and I go to song number 2, Avenue. Baby, I hear Avenue, and Avenue right now is my favorite song. And I've only got to song 2. And everything that I've been thinking about song 1, song 2 is basically confirming it. Like this songwriting, oh my gosh. Like, I love the songwriting. And I want you guys to understand something, and I am not playing. Like, I'm not putting anybody on a pedestal or anything. But whoever is writing her songs with her, I haven't heard, rather listened to lyrics or read lyrics like this, and I'm not joking. This is just me, since Luther Vandross. And if you listen to a Luther Vandross album, he's very descriptive. Like, you know, the stars were shining brighter than most of the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? And love came in out of nowhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh, like, I love the songwriting. I kid you not, I do. Very descriptive. And it just flows. So you guys, whoever you are on this first album out there, like, you guys, I'm here to tell you, like, I hope I find out, who else these songwriters are writing for. And maybe she has them, continue to work with her, on the albums that I would cover, later with her, because I love the songwriting. Okay, moving right along from that. Another thing that I like too about it is that I know she's a singer. Now, take that back. Something tells me she's a singer. I get the feeling, but that's the downfall with this. I get the feeling she's a singer, but they just have her singing. I don't see. It's like it falls short when I get the sense of an R&B diva who is current, who feels it seems like they're not being stretched enough. I know, because if you listen to what the R&B divas that I told you I like, then I like the octaves. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want you in those rafters as high as you can get. You don't have to do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know that somewhere in the music, I'm going to get that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I like a power ballad every now and then. And I hope, well, I'm going to assume that I'm not going to get this in her with her album. I just don't get that, you know, because of the song. By the time I've gotten the song too, I'm feeling like, no, I'm not going to get this from her. But this is something that I know she can do. I hope she does it, but I don't think she's going to do it. So right now, I just have to make sure that I can get through the album, if you understand what I'm saying. All right, so I'm like, okay. Then we get to a song called Let Me In. And by the time you get to the third song, there are parts of this song that are memorable. And there are parts of this song that I like. You have some good hooks in there. The way the song is put together, I don't. Okay, you know how there's parts of songs that you could continue to sing, or you can sing randomly, but people know that that's the part of the song that you're singing. Like, that's what I love about her album. Like, there's just certain parts and elements of the songs that you can just sing without singing the whole song. And that's what I'm getting from the song Let Me In. So track 1, track 2, track 3, I'm already sold. The question is she going to continue to do this for me? All right. So now I get to track 4, Lights On. And again, it's the lyrics. It's the lyrics. I'm loving the lyrics. And at this moment in time, my favorite songs on the album are track 2 and track 4. So I love Avenue and I love Lights On. I'm digging them. Okay, I like them a lot. Those are my favorite songs. Out of listening to 4 songs, I like 2 songs for sure. And then I get to track 5, Say It Again. And this is where track 5, by the time I get to Say It Again, this is where I'm saying to myself, this is her groove. I'm not going to get anything else out of her, you know, from a production standpoint. And I have to just be honest with you guys. Now I'm looking down and I'm trying to see now how many songs on this album. And there are 21 songs on this album. 21. Which means by the time I get to track 5, I have to now say, I'm listening to it to review it, and it's just going to be too many songs on this album. Like, who thought of putting 21 songs on the album? Hey, I haven't listened to music currently in a while, so I don't know how many tracks you guys put on your albums right now, but I'm here to tell you, you can give me 12. Anywhere between 9 and 12. I'm of that generation. Give me 9 or 12, and I'm good. You understand what I'm saying? Especially when I'm saying to myself from a production standpoint, like, you know what? I'm going to say this. And hopefully you guys understand what I mean when I say this. I understand that we musicians and artists, you know, you cater to what I guess we say the culture currently wants. What is pretty much current on radio format, all of that stuff. I understand that. But there's nothing that I can do with this current music from a production standpoint. Like it's again, it feels like it's just draining. Like, I give you a prime example. With an artist such as her and her caliber, I'm saying to myself, can you give me an upbeat song? Like, okay, I understand this is a song where if you want to sit around and, hey, whatever you guys do, you smoke, you drink, whatever you're doing, you're just lounging around. Maybe you at a lounge and you just lounging, and all of that stuff. But I don't always want to be in that mood. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this music sounds good if you're getting ready to go out. Excuse me. It sounds good if you're at a particular club and that's the club's atmosphere. But come on, I want to get on the dance floor. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and I don't think I'm going to get that from her out of this album. It is what it is. And so with the song Said Again, I'm figuring out that she's in her groove. This is her groove. This is her lane for this album. So now I have two things that I have to do listening to this album. That is, get to the end of the album, as well as now kind of find songs that I know that I like too. And then third, see if she's going to expand at all during this album. That's where I'm looking for. You see, is she going to expand? She's going to change up her style. All right. And so I get to track 6, Facts. I get to track 7, Focus. And I get to track 8. And I like Avenue, Lights On, Facts, Focus. And when I get to track 8, You, that is my favorite song on the album. You, I love it. And then I listened to a song called Every Kind of Way. I'm like, okay. And then track 10, Best Part. Now that's, to me, when I see that she's trying to branch out and do something different. It feels like it has more of an acoustic type vibe to it. And I think that's the reason why I like it. It definitely, to me, stands out from all of the rest of the album, but I do, like I said, like it because it's different and it has that acoustic type sound to it. And then by the time I get to track 14, I'm waking up again. Like, she has my attention when I get to the song Rather Be. I'm like, okay, I'm digging her. I'm liking her. I'm feeling good about her. So overall, in general, all I had to do was just honestly listen to the rest of the album. And I did. And I will say, out of all of the songs on the album, I like Avenue, Lights On, Facts, Focus, You, Best Part, and Rather Be. So I think that's kind of good that I like almost half of the album. Now, here's the thing though. These are my favorite songs. I think the good part about her first album is that I like all the songs. I like the album. These songs just stands out to me as my favorite. So I'm willing to say right now that H.E.R. definitely is a contender. I think H.E.R. is an artist who, pretty much is someone to be, you kind of like probably need to look over your shoulder just a smidge, to see, okay, what's she doing over there? Because I do feel like she definitely has it. She has the goods. Oh, and speaking of songwriting and goods and songwriting, this is what I'm going to say when it comes to her as far as songwriting is concerned. It looks as if she is a co-writer on these songs. When I listen to her lyrics and what she's singing about, she almost come off a tad bit masculine, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm like, she's straight up dude with her approach, and I'm looking like, how much of it is her and how much is it maybe a male songwriter on there? Because there's just certain things that is being said. It is almost, you say to yourself like, okay, that's something that a guy, would say. So she's definitely not if this is her writing, then she is not the singer songwriter who's saying, oh, I love you, baby. Oh, will you just hold me again? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not, that's what I mean. She is not that writer, on this album. There's the it's like you play mind games with me, type of approach. Like, you guys know what I mean out there, and definitely of the time and of the era, and trust me, my sisters and my female cousins, I trust me, I know where she's coming from. I exactly know where she's coming from, and that's also a change as well, listening to today's music, and that's also a change. I just put it to you like that without going much into it. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm going to get a lot out of her. I'm going to listen to her albums. I'm just not going to listen to them all right now. I'm definitely going to come back, to her catalog and listen to it. I have to say she's definitely the R&B diva to me who, if someone comes up and asks me who am I currently listening to, I'm going to say her. I really and truly like her a lot. I see a lot of Alicia Keys in her. I see a lot of Aaliyah in her style of writing. Like, again, the production is great. It's not the production, it's the sound, right? It's like, come on, pep it up a little bit. I don't want to be in a low mood, a low feeling, and that's what I get, but anyway. So if you made it to this part to my commentary, I say I know it should be appropriate for me to ask you guys, hey, hang out with me, over here by hitting that subscribe button where, I talk mainly about R&B divas, but every now and then, I talk about entertainment news and who dropped kicked who in these entertainment streets. You understand what I'm saying? And also too, don't forget to put your behind where your heart desires to be. And it looks as if H.E.R has been doing that since the age of 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. Put your behind where your heart desires to be. Where your heart is, your treasure is there also, okay? And whenever I leave my mother's presence, she always says to me, baby, remember, I love you, but God loves you best. I love you guys out there. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. It's definitely not about me. I'm trying to give you guys, the content that you all are looking for and expecting. So, hey, let me know if there's a current R&B diva out there that you guys say, hey, you need to check this R&B diva out. I promise you I will get around to doing that. Yes, I will. And don't forget to love yourself, because if you don't love you, how can you love somebody else? And if somebody's not loving you and you're not loving yourself, baby, I'm here to tell you, you are in some Molly, you're in trouble, girl. You understand what I'm saying? In trouble. Love yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And on that note, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next video. Until then, you all take care of yourselves out there.